At recess, the 6th grade boys like to play a game. And the game in question was called Launch the Kid. Here's how it worked. Big Heggy, the biggest kid in the school, would come running at the playground seesaw at full speed. On the low end of the seesaw, a twerpy kid would perch, gritting his teeth and clenching the handlebar. Big Heggy would come running at full speed. He would spring into the air like a cat, only was more like a whale, let's be honest. And he would plop himself onto the seesaw. Whoop! There would go the kid soaring through the air, a good 10 or so feet, and they'd land somewhere around the 1st grade playground. Now you're probably wondering, where were all the adults? Where were the adults who were responsible for our safety? Well, Mrs. Berger was off in the football field, making sure those kids didn't kill themselves. And Mr. Brown, who was notoriously lazy, was reading his newspaper and eating vanilla snack pack puddings. And so the 6th grade boys were free to play their little game for all of lunch recess if they wanted to. But the 6th grade boys had a problem. A big problem. You see, about 10 feet away from the seesaw, there was a yellow tube slide. And it was their dream, it was their vision to launch a kid high and far enough to let smack dab on top of that tube slide. But they'd never been able to do it. Trey Tickner had gotten close, but he'd broken his arm on the last try, and so he was out of commission. And so it was that the children, the 6th grade boys, were scanning the playground for new blood. They scanned, they scanned, they scanned, and they found me. Now you think that I'm skinny now? You take a look at my 4th grade pictures. I would turn sideways, and I'd virtually disappear. Which is probably why they hadn't enlisted me until then. They looked and looked, and I just turned sideways, and they just go right over me. But one fateful day while I was playing jump rope, I was seen by none other than the most popular boy of them all, the 6th grader, Chris Daigle. And he may have been short, but he was cute. And I could see him as he walked up to me. I saw a glint in his eye, and I knew that glint could only mean one thing. But what could I do? I held my jump rope clenched between my fists and waited for the inevitable. When Chris got to me, he said, "Hey, we need you for our game." "I'm playing jump rope." This didn't deter him. He withdrew a box of fruit roll-ups from the folds of his jacket. "I'll give you 2 fruit roll-ups if you do it." And suddenly it dawned on me that even though I was the lowly 4th grader and he was the 6th grader, I was the one with the power. "No deal," I said. "I'll give you 3 fruit roll-ups, and you can have the backseat of the bus for a week." Whew. Well, that changed things. Did Chris Daigle not know that the backseat of the bus was worth the whole entire fruit roll-up factory? I kept my cool. "You make it 2 weeks, and you've got yourself a deal." We shook on it, and Chris led me to my fate. "There's nothing to it," said Chris. "You just sit here on the seesaw, and you wait." "I know how to do it," I said. "Does it hurt when you land?" "Oh, no. It just feels like falling off of a swing." Oh, well, that wasn't so bad. Everybody's done that. So I took my seat on the seesaw, and I clenched the handlebars. "Oh, and kid," Chris said, "aim for the top of the tube slide." Before I could ask him how you aimed, the time was upon me. Big Heggy was running towards me. He launched himself into the air, and whoop! The next thing I knew, I was airborne, sailing through the sky, my arms rotating like a broken windmill. It was frightening and exhilarating. Oh, this was the best I've ever felt in my life. Oh, and there was the top of the tube slide. I tried to angle my body towards it, but suddenly it was behind me. I sort of could 15 feet over that thing and kept on going. And now kids were pointing up at me. And I just smiled and waved. I was going past the football field, past the soccer field, and I probably would be still going today, except who has heard of the law of motion? It's a valuable thing to learn. Now, the law of motion says that an object in motion stays in motion unless it collides with another object. The school flagpole was situated kitty corner from the vice principal's office. And I saw that thing growing larger and larger and larger and larger. All I could think to do in the free spirit of the moment, though, was put my hand over my heart and say, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Ba-bam! That was the end of my flight of freedom. And I slid slowly down that flagpole, coming to rest on my back on the hard, cold cement. And kids came running from everywhere, kids screaming and yelling, Mrs. Berger blowing her whistle, Mr. Brown mid-snack pack putting by not knowing what had happened, all the kids screaming, yelling, Chris Dingle saying, Kid, are you dead? Dead. I never felt more free and alive in my life. But all I could do was stay there, tears streaming down my face, looking at the star-spangled banner above me. Well, she earned the free frugal, said a kid. Yeah, she got the backseat of the bus, another kid said. Oh, children, how little do they know. For what are fruit roll-ups? And what is the backseat of the bus compared to the true spirit of freedom?